reason why I'm really sad today, and the reason why I'm sad is because I am not the girl that's loved, I am the girl that's lusted over. It makes me really sad knowing that the only activity men ever want to do with me is sex. Every time I talk to a man or I start liking a man, then I won't say every time because every time's an exaggeration, but I'm emotional, so let's exaggerate.
Right.
Whenever I talk to men, the conversation just gets so sexual so fast.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the conversation's about. It could be a funny conversation. There's a funny joke about sex. There could be a serious conversation, then it's a serious conversation about sex.
Right.
It could be a sad conversation, and somehow sex gets implemented into the conversation.
Right.
I told a man that my dad was in the hospital, and he sent me unsolicited pics.
Right.
I cried about losing my job. And a guy asked me if I wanted a hug, and I said a hug would be nice. And he said, there's a risk with me coming over there. And I was like, what the fuck is the risk? And he was like, me getting you pregnant.
Right.
I was literally crying in that conversation.
Shut up, bitch!
We do not care.
Couple things. I'm not here to give women advice. I'm just gonna give y'all the truth, and you could take it and run with it. Even though those guys lack empathy, that in those examples, I guarantee you those were guys who she's flirted with, they flirted with her, maybe even taken on dates, sitting on FaceTime, talking, texting back and forth. Guys she can confide in, guys she was romantically interested in. They were romantically interested in her. There is no such thing as a man who is romantically interested in you who also doesn't want to fuck you at all times. Let's just get that out of the way. Secondly, I'm not going to let you insult my intelligence and act like you don't know about the first thing I just said. Thirdly, every other part of the beginning of relationships is for women. The part where you got him on the phone, telling him about how stressful your life is, talking about your dad, trauma dumping on him, dating. I believe men should pay for dates, plan dates, all that. That's on him. Literally, especially at the beginning of relationships, the only thing men get from women is to bust a nut in most cases. Because y'all ain't opening them wallets in most cases. Y'all ain't doing nothing for him in most cases. Before y'all get in there talking about what you do, I'm just saying most women. So it's not odd for a man to be like, shit, when we gonna fuck? I took you on 14 days, this, that, and the third. And also, you got to see it from the man's perspective, because we're constantly hearing things from your perspective. From the man's perspective, he knows that if you were that physically attracted to him, you have already fucked him. The guys that you want to fuck. You don't sit there and do all that stupid shit with. Matter of fact, if you've ever been that guy who that girl just wants to fuck, they act like men when they like you like that. Hit you, what you doing? I know it's midnight. What you doing? Can I come over there? Yeah, you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Especially to men who've had that treatment. Like, you start looking at certain girls like, yo, you don't even fucking like me. You just want somebody to cuddle with, talk to, pay for dates, woo. Like, we can see that. Last thing, you're not the girl who's loved. You're the girl who's lusted after. The girl in your head who you feel like is loved, the guys she talks to act the same way. You're creating this fairy tale that other girls get that you don't get, okay? You're a pretty girl. If a guy is romantically interested in you, he try and fuck. All right, have a good day.
5 minutes later.
Do you not understand that just because you want to smash all the time doesn't mean you have to bring it up all the goddamn time? Also, men never shut the hell up, so we hear y'all perspective all the time. Be fucking for real. That's new, sweetheart. Most women, not all, most women hate to hear things from the male perspective. This whole men on the internet yapping is new. Most of the problems in your life is because men haven't opened their mouths and shared their true feelings with you. That's why a lot of y'all think y'all moms is perfect, because your dad never opened his mouth and told you. That's why. In that video, the first thing I said was, those guys lack empathy. Meaning, like, I would never do that shit. She said she was basically trauma dumping on him. My dad's in the hospital, and then he sent an unsolicited meat pic. That's crazy. Let's truly talk about this. There are women on this app who all day be like, men love providing, men love going to work and spending their money on their women. If they actually love you, they would love to do that. You have convinced yourself, because there's a lack of men telling you how we really feel. You have convinced yourself that men want to go to work all day, work hard, come home and give you their whole paycheck. I made a video one time, because y'all not used to men being vulnerable. And in the video I said, like, if men were honest, we want to stay home with the baby after the baby is born too. Like, Preferably, like if we could, we would want to stay home and build a bond with that child and all that. Women were coming out the woodwork, bro. A real man wants to go out and work and provide for his family. Well, no shit, Sherlock. But if we had $1 million in an account somewhere, we would love to build that same bond you building. And the women just couldn't wrap their mind around it. They were like, no, men love to go to work because they know what they're, it's like, yo, shut up. He's doing it because he has to. Then when we start talking about dating and I just point out how everything in dating is geared toward the woman, y'all start doing stupid shit, saying stupid shit. I start talking about how much it costs for a man to date and women just got to show up pretty. Y'all start breaking down how much the makeup costs to put on your face. I'll start talking about how much it costs to put your jawline on because your BMI over 30. Y'all know how stupid you sound to us? Let me give you the male feelings behind that. Shut your stupid ass up. Don't say that no more. You sound stupid. Yeah. And so y'all just hate a male perspective. You have all these things you hold as important, and we hold 1% of those things as important. But you want us to make it as important as you make it. So we do that, right? Buy all these flowers we don't feel like buying because we know they're going to die. Listen to your stupid fucking stories about your coworkers you've been hating for the last 5 years. You've told 11,000 stories. He wanted to hear none of them. Take you out to places he don't want to eat at. He really want a burger and some fries, but he know you like the ambiance of this place. You don't even like the food. You just want to go. He do all this shit. But when a man says shit, no, sex is pretty up there in priorities. It's all y'all want. Yo, life with a woman is just doing shit you don't want to do to keep her happy most of the time. This is really, I'm just giving you how men see shit a lot of times. But again, y'all think y'all know every fucking thing. We've heard way more about what women want than what men want. It's to the point where y'all like, oh, men are so simple. Men are so simple. Oh, men are so simple. All you gotta do is X, Y, and Z. Whole time, like, we all want different shit and intricate shit. Y'all just don't give a fuck about a male perspective.
Why do grown adult women beg men for money? And before y'all call me and pick me, let me elaborate. Let's say you want a man to send you $200 so that you can get your nails and your lashes done. Let's say that the man you're talking to only makes $20 an hour. Basically, you want that man to just give you money that he worked 10 hours to make. 10 hours for nothing. And if we really want to be for real, if we're including taxes, it really probably took him about 12 hours to make that money.
Crazy for a man to try to use a woman for a free meal. Like, what do you?
Why is that? Whoa. Why is that crazy? We both eat.
Yeah. My whole thing is, it's just, again, I say it to the women, but it's just like, if you don't have money and you're broke, you should not be dating.
No.
You shouldn't be trying to sign up.
I'm talking about being hungry.
I'm talking about.
Then we could be friends, and I will buy you a meal as my friend. Why are we on a date? You're in no position to be in a relationship.
But I'm in no position to be in a relationship that we're going to be 50-50 in. That we're going to be equals in.
Well, I wouldn't be in that dynamic.
You don't want to be an equal with your partner.
I want to be equal with my partner, but I feel like my philosophies I have for myself, I have for my partner. So my philosophy for myself is I need to be able to provide for myself before I join lives with somebody else. If you're in a position where you cannot afford to eat, I will help you as a friend, but that means that you shouldn't be in a predicament to.
But that's not what I'm saying, because I'm able to provide for myself because I showed up to the date alive. Okay, so I've clearly been eating.
This sounds like there's some deeper problem.
No, it's not a deep problem. I'm asking you a serious question because it's okay for us to spend money on y'all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But y'all don't want to spend money on us sometimes.
Well, not sometimes. It depends. It's well, number one, again, the men normally spend money on the women because you're the one asking. So that's where that comes in.
Why aren't you asking?
I don't want to.
That's cat. Women be like, when are we gonna go on a date? That's your way of asking. If you ask, when are we gonna go on a date, or
I don't say
go on a date, or
A lot of the women who have been on the show say things like, man, my money's good. Like, I'm earning well. I'm an independent woman. I'm like, all right, cool. What kind of man you want? They're like, he needs to be a provider. Like, whoa, hold on. Like, what do you mean by a provider? Like, he needs to have money. He needs to give me money. He needs to provide. Whoa. If you have money, why does he need to provide? She didn't say he needs to be wealthy or he needs to be accomplished. That's a different thing. Because sometimes that's just a reflection of your merit as a man. But when you got to provide, which means you got to drop some coins in the pot, well, that make me think, baby, you ain't got no coins in your pot.
You know what's crazy?
What's crazy?
You know they have all these accolades.
Uh-oh.
The realism of it all is they know the truth.
Uh-oh.
They know the truth. They couldn't buy the happiness. No matter how hard they went to work, No matter how many degrees they got, they can never buy the happiness. It's not a thing you can get on receipt.
For me to feel like you my boyfriend, you gotta like kind of let me know that you willing to take care of me.
Oh, he gotta spend some money.
Well, it's not about spending money. You just gotta like, I gotta feel like I got a man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to work as hard as I do. I'm fucking exhausted. It's like, if you see me as being your wife, then you're not going to want me to work as hard. Like,
so in translation, you gotta spend a check.
It's not like a check. It's
the check.
Consistent. Like,
consistent checks.
Taking care of me. Like, it has to be like, oh, he wants to take care of me. Like, I would like my man to want to take care of me. And then, okay, that I would feel safe enough to call you that or give you that title and cut other men off. But if I'm still working as hard to make it all happen, then how am I ever going to call somebody my man?
It's a sad world we live in.
It's not a sad world. It's a real world. I just don't understand why this new world is continually running away from tradition. Like, people act as if a woman of caliber who has no problem taking care of her man is ridiculous for saying she wants to be taken care of.
Oh, it's not. That's not ridiculous to want to be taken care of. I think it's ridiculous to have that as the standard of somebody being your man.
So I was just at the gas station and this guy was like, oh, let me pump your gas for you. A pretty lady shouldn't be pumping her own gas. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's also $60 premium to fill up my BMW. And he's like, oh, no. I wasn't trying to pay for your gas. I just wanted to pump it for you. Like, go away. Ladies, if you want a man to leave you alone, bring up money. Bring up money. I swear to God, he was out of there. He didn't even pump my gas, all right?
You don't know how to hold a real nigga down? You can't even hold yourself down, baby. And consider this my love letter to you. Cause you know, like I said before, it's a cold world.